Good afternoon, VC. Thank you for stopping by my channel. I've been sick the past 7 days, 4 of them working and the last 3 here at home, but I wanted to put out this video. This is my rare Northwest Psych garage finds from August. I'm only showing Northwest related. If you've been watching my videos, you know that I'm a collector of rare Northwest psychedelic music, but it goes deeper than that. I do garage and country and most music stuff Northwest. I consider the Northwest as Washington, Oregon, Northern California, Idaho, Montana, and a little bit of Utah. I'm pretty generous with my definition of the Pacific Northwest. Here are my finds. A good collector friend of mine out of Olympia, Washington, sold me these. The first one is the Wailers, You Weren't Using Your Head. This came out in 1965 on the Etiquette label. It's not a single that's on any of the albums. The side A is You Weren't Using Your Head, and side B is Back to You. This was recorded sometime around the recording of Out of Our Tree and Wailers, Wailers Everywhere. A really, really good track. Another single that I'm happy to have is on Garland Records called Everybody by the band Morning Rain. These guys were from Salem, Oregon, and they've got Everybody on side 1 and the other track, But It's All Right on side 2. These are a combination of garage rock and soul. Both these songs are cover songs, and they do a good job of putting them through a Northwest vein. Lots of good stuff out of Salem, Oregon in 1968 and 69. The Morning Rain. Collector in Los Angeles saw one of my ads in Record Collector News and reached out to me telling me he had a few of the items that I was looking for. So I picked up these next 3 from him. One of these is the latest addition to my list, and that list doesn't come out until this week. This is Spirit of Elijah by Wilson McKinley. These guys are from Spokane. This is 1971. This is Jesus Rock. I previously did a video on their second album, and Heaven's Gonna Be a Blast. You can see that. It's that album right there. Heaven's Gonna Be a Blast. It's like this rare garage with fuzz, psych, really good guitars. Well, this is their first album. Some say this is better. I'm not sure yet. I've played this a few times, and maybe that one's better. The label, this is in the Acid Archives. And matter of fact, I did do an Acid Archives video of that record that you could find, and I also ripped that record, and you could play the whole album. The standout track from Spirit of Elijah is the first track. The last track on side one. Let's see, the last track is called The Tree of Life. Really, really great guitar and organ. It's very Jesus rock. Like I said, I just put this album on my September ad on Record Collector News. You can see that ad here. Do you know where I can find any of these? If you do, hit me up. I would be forever in your debt. Okay, the other records the guy brought over. This is something I showed a few weeks ago on a video when Chance was in town. This is called Tripsichord Music Box. This came out in 1971. I had showed the Karma 1999 reissue of this, but this is an original. Really cool cover. They're actually from San Francisco. It is a white label promo. On the Janus Records label. It's very, very San Francisco. It's psych folk, maybe hippie psych folk. It's somewhere between Quicksilver Messenger Service and Moby Grape. Black Door on side one is a standout track for me. Last thing the guy brought over to my office was a single by Crome Syrcus. This is called Elevator Operator. This is on the Jordan label. This came out in 1969. I recently ripped their only full-length album from 1968 called Love Cycle. That's a good album, not a great album, but these are great tracks. Elevator Operator and Lord in Black. They were a Seattle band that played with a lot of the big bands that would tour and come to Seattle. They're on a few of the different posters that I have. They were really good. Members of this band were in the Dynamics in the early to mid 60s, and they played with the Sonics and the Wailers, but this is definitely heavier psych, 1969. I'm going to play a little bit of Elevator Operator, and then I'm going to play a little bit of Lord in Black by Crome Syrcus. Recently, I've been talking online, Instagram and YouTube, with the guitar player of the band Velvet Illusions. They're from Yakima, Washington, and he told me to pick up this EP that came out in Europe. This band performed in '66 and '67, and they put out a bunch of singles. They went to Los Angeles, but never recorded an album, just recorded the singles. And then years later, this was a compilation. This came out in 2015 in Switzerland. Really, really good garage rock with a Psych vein. This is probably some of the best garage Psych out of Washington. And you haven't even heard of it. I didn't even hear of it until fairly recently. The track Acid Head is a song that you would see on a few of the compilations from the Northwest. Really, really good. I would love to reissue this. The guy I've been talking to said there's 3 or 4 other tracks that didn't make it onto this, and it would make it a full album. I would love to hear that. But the Velvet Illusions out of Yakima, Washington, and actually that is where my father grew up. He lived in Yakima until about 65, and then he moved to Queen Anne in Seattle. The Velvet Illusions.
She wakes up in the morning and pretends she doesn't need the fix that will help her on her long road trip in search of peace of mind. And when she feels she can't go on, she simply says she isn't strong enough to fight the crush she needs so much. Turn on and shake away the blues. That girl don't need no dancing shoes. Minnie shimmy, shake it Minnie, Minnie go go go, oh no, Minnie shimmy. Long long hair, way out suits, painted faces, in knee-high boots. Well, in Hippie Town, they're all there. People stare, but they don't care. In Hippie Town, in Hippie Town, they share the rent.
This other one I got recently is part of the Nuggets series, the Nuggets, Volume 8, The Northwest. This is a great starter kit for Northwest garage to psych rock. The Kingsmen and the Sonics, the Wailers, the Daily Flash, the Weeds with Fred Cole, the Surprise Package, all the good stuff that Seattle has to offer is on this. If you're even somewhat interested in Northwest garage or psych, pick this one up. Volume 8, it's on the Rhino. This came out in 1985. The standout track for me, and actually there's a variety of them. I mean, the Weeds, It's Your Time, the Surprise Package, Out of My Mind, but the song Don't Mean a Thing by the Floating Bridge. Floating Bridge had an album that came out in 1969. This is a track that wasn't on that album, and it's one of their better tracks. This next one is called The Last Laugh by Brigade. This is a Portland, Oregon band. This came out in 1970. It's a private press. This is a super rare album, and this is a reissue in 1990. This is the first time it was reissued in 1991. The OG is one of the most wanted Northwest Psych albums out there. Really heavy garage, heavy psych. It's a combination psych garage. It's really good. This is on the DeVal label. It's really like raw Portland energy of the time. One of these days, I will find this OG. The standout track for this one is the track 1 of side 2, Self-Made God. This next one is also on my want list, but this is really a bootleg, the new Tweedy Brothers. This also comes from Portland. It's Northwest Psych. The original that came out in 1968 is very rare. It's got an unusual cover, and I've talked about this band and this cover before. I've got the Shaddix reissue, and now apparently I just pick up any version I come across. Hopefully one day I will find the OG. It's got very jangly 12-string guitar and harmonies. That's kind of somewhere like Jefferson Airplane and Moby Grape. I think I've already said that. But the new Tweedy Brothers, Portland, Oregon. That is my find for August 2025. I think I'm going to go back to bed.